There's lots of great skills to learn to enhance communication, but there is none more important than learning to listen. Really listen. As we learned in prior videos, it's important to validate the one you're communicating with, because if you shut them down with invalidation, pushing your own agenda, not really caring what's important to them, they will never hear what you have to say. They'll shut down. They might talk. They might answer your questions, but communicate? Nah. You win or lose someone's attention in the first couple of seconds. If you engage, are interested, and address what's important to them, then you become magnetic to them. Just think, what kind of people are you attracted to? I remember one networking meeting, I was there signing books, when all of a sudden this woman bounded up to me, put her arm around me, and pulled out her camera, took a selfie, and posted on Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn or some such thing in order to help me promote my book. She didn't do the conventional small talk, she took a risk and figured the most important thing that she could do for me at that moment was to see what I was doing and help me do it. Bam! Right on cue. She never asked me for anything. I don't think she really even introduced herself. I, of course, followed up, and we've become good friends. What impressed me was that her first instinct was to make it about me, not her. She validated me. It was also a group I didn't know. I was just invited by a colleague to come and display and sign my books, but that little interaction made me feel right at home. Validation and making others feel comfortable, two of the cardinal rules of communicating. She didn't even use words, at least I don't remember what the words were. Another way for people to feel validated and comfortable is to listen to them. Listen to them well. And here's how to do that. Number one, give whoever is in front of you your full attention. Your body posture is facing them and open. Maintain gentle eye contact. Do not allow your eyes to wander or look for someone else more interesting. This can be difficult and it takes practice, but I am sure you know how it feels when someone's talking to you and you sense that they have no interest in you. They're looking all around instead of looking at you. It feels bad. Number three, all electronic devices down. In your pocket, purse, on the table, or in your briefcase. Now that you're positioned to listen, here are some important points on how to listen. Give regular indications that you're paying attention. Nod, oh, really? Stay engaged. Those little words help you do that. Next, take time when appropriate to validate and clarify. So you actually got lost at the rally? So am I hearing correctly that you don't plan to vote in this election? Let me get this straight. You went to the meeting, but the guy who demanded that you meet him there decided not to show? That way, if you hear correctly, they'll confirm it. If not, they'll correct it. Either way, they know you're listening and interested, and that's the point. The next thing is to validate and reflect emotions that you hear. Wow, you sound really angry. Or, how infuriating. Or, well, I bet that hurt. How frightening. Oh, that was pretty funny, wasn't it? This also gives them a chance to clarify if you're wrong. No, it wasn't really funny. It wasn't funny. It was really terrifying. Or, no, I wasn't angry. I was just really frustrated that he didn't respect me enough to show up. Or if you're right, it confirms that you're listening and understanding. Yes, it was just awful. Yes, it was funny. We were laughing all the way home. Now, here are some things to avoid when you're listening. Avoid cutting in to offer your opinion or advice. You know, unsolicited opinions and advice are rarely, if ever, welcome. People want to be validated. Stick with that. If they ask for your opinion or advice, that's a different matter. But even then, tread gently. Number 2, avoid trying to fix it. Most times, people need a safe place to dump their bucket. They're smart and have probably figured a dozen different ways to resolve an issue. But first they need to let go of some steam so they can think more clearly. If you're unsure, just ask, is there anything I can do? Or what can I do to help? Number 3, avoid playing, can you top this? I cringe every time I'm in a conversation where somebody is spilling their heart out and someone chimes in, you think that's bad? And then goes on to tell their own story and make a conversation about them. There might be an opportunity at another time, later in the day, but for now, you're listening, validating, clarifying. Don't mess that up. One way to mess it up is my next point. Avoid judging anything. Just validate their feelings. For example, if a wife is complaining about her husband or her children or her mother, that is not a good time to say, what a jerk, what a brat, what a witch, especially when someone's talking about a family member. It's important to remember that even though they might be complaining, they also have a probably very complicated relationship. And part of the complication and frustration might be that they actually love that person and are protective of them on some level. Don't criticize. Validate the person you're listening to. Validate. The most successful listener is one who validates, reflects, supports, and encourages. If you have to add anything at all, comment on something positive that the speaker said or did. Wow, you showed a lot of strength. I don't know if I could have been that brave. And after all that, you forgave her. That shows some strong character. Remember that listening is an active sport. It's paying attention to someone else. We don't listen to answer or be heard ourselves. We listen to listen. And it takes undivided attention. So often, we're so interested in what we have to say, we don't listen, but we're formulating this response even as the other person is speaking. That's a complete turnoff, and it shows the other person you don't really care about them. You care more about you, what you think, how smart you sound, and so forth. Again, this is a very good reason to make sure you're very clear and very confident in yourself, which is accomplished through your inner work, your connection to something bigger, your strong sense of self, your awareness of what's going on in the moment. This makes you a much better listener because you're not insecure about how you come across. You're not self-conscious about what you should be doing or saying, or whether or not you'll look smart or stupid. It doesn't matter to someone who feels heard by you. That's your goal, that the other person feels heard.